So welcome everyone to Breathe In and Shine, number 3. As Adalyn was saying, we're going to practice some mindfulness today. And finish that up, honey, and then you can sound the singing bowl. And what we're going to do are some practices. We'll have a story. And then we're actually going to do some movement because sometimes...
Mom, then how are we going to listen to the door?
We got it fixed. We got it fixed.
But Mom!
Yeah, we got it fixed, honey.
We can't spell.
There. We're going to do that afterwards. So what we're going to do to start, Adalyn, did you want to sound the singing bowl? But before we do that, so what we've been doing every day is that we have been taking, I'm going to move it in a sec, honey. This is the way that I communicate with people. So what we've been doing is we've been taking 3 soft and deep breaths, imagining that we're resting our favorite drink on our shoulders so that we keep our shoulders nice and level rather than keep them nice and level. So I'm going to ask for your suggestions. How many breaths do you think we should take today? We have been doing 3.
2.
Let's see if our friends want to pick a number between 2 and 8. If I ask openly, sometimes people will say 5 billion, and we would be here all day. So, okay, I see the first person who wrote in said 5. So let's do 5 soft and deep breaths. Are you going to sound the singing bowl for us? And then what do we do when we sound the singing bowl? We raise our hand when we hear the sound, and then we lower it when we no longer hear it. Okay, here we go, Adalyn. It still hears it. I don't hear it anymore. Now I imagine the sound of the singing bowl doesn't really come over too well on the speaker, but there are lots of free apps that you can find where you can just play it over your phone if you like. I'm just going to move one thing up here. Okay, so we took our nice deep breaths. And now what I'd like to do is a lovely practice that can kind of help us to brighten our mood. Sure, next time we can do 2. Brighten our mood, bring a smile to our face, is reflecting on and thinking about some nice moments that we've had over the past day or even over the past week. So you can take a moment and maybe turning to some of the people who you're with, and we can think about
Mousy.
What was a nice moment that you had of connecting with someone? Maybe it was your parents, or maybe it was with your cat. We've had lots of fun with Bartleby, kind of connecting and hugging with Bartleby.
This is Mousy.
This is Mousy. You've been having fun with your stuffies. And
Mousy.
You've been connecting with grandparents, right?
But my favorite is connecting with my friend Sophia.
So she's been connecting with her friend Sophia. And that's been lots of fun, hasn't it? To be playing.
Because Sophia's dad is telling me a lot of fairy tales.
Oh, fun. So maybe you could take a moment and just turn to the person you're with. And if you want to share in the chat as well, you can. Of what has been a really nice moment of connecting with someone.
Mom.
Let's give him a moment. And then we're going to do the story.
But Mom, now I want to today FaceTime with Sophia.
Okay, we can do that after. So would anyone like to share a quick chat of a person or a pet or a friend who they may have connected with over the past while?
My grandma and my grandpa and my friend Sophia and my friend Amelia. And my friend Lishon, and my friend Jonah, and my friend everyone.
Okay, so lots of friends and family. So what we're going to talk about today, let's see. Oh, someone said my baby cousin. Oh, that's fun to connect with your baby cousin. So even when we're physically distancing, we can still be connecting with people whom we care about.
And you can still talk to them online.
That's right. We can still talk to them online. It's a little bit different, but it's really nice to talk, isn't it? So we were going to read a story today called The Inside Flashlight, but Adalyn requested a different story to read. And so we are going to share, this is actually one of my favorite stories, and it's called Steps and Stones. Would you like to tell them who the main character is? It's On. Remember, his name is On. So we are going to read this story, and what I really love about it, it's a great story that talks about feelings. Here, so why don't we do it like this?
Well, I can't see that.
So this is called Steps and Stones by Gail Silver. And I will put this up on a final slide at the end. I will have to edit it first because we changed our mind about the story. Recess is On's favorite part of the day. I wonder if anyone else out there likes recess. Do you like recess, honey? Sort of. We're trying to have some recess at home. But not today. Today, his friends Sam and Charlie ran right past him, not even looking his way. Wait, On called. We're supposed to dig. I brought shovels and everything. We don't want to dig, said Sam, bouncing a big red ball in the dirt. Yeah, echoed Charlie. Digging is for babies. We're playing kickball instead. I wonder how On might have felt when his friend said, digging is for babies. What do you think, honey?
I still dig and it's not for babies.
That's right. On felt like he'd been punched in the stomach. I don't want to play kickball, he said. I want to dig. But Sam and Charlie were already kicking the ball around, and On was left alone. On walked to the shade of the oak tree, a salty tear rounding the corner of his lip. He leaned against the tree and watched as the tear made a tiny puddle in the dirt. I'm glad you finally stopped, said a voice. I've been trying to get your attention. On lifted his head and saw a dark silhouette in a pair of red sneakers. Anger? Asked On. Is that you? It's me, said Anger. You know, I always show up when things aren't going your way. There's a picture of Anger here. On looked at his Anger. He hadn't seen him for a while. Why were you wearing all that stuff? On asked. I almost didn't recognize you. I was trying to be inconspicuous, Anger whispered. I'm not sure if I'm allowed at school. On and Anger sat together watching the other kids play kickball. Sam and Charlie were supposed to dig with me, said On. I know, said Anger. Now I have no one to play with, On said, and Charlie thinks I'm a baby. I can think of a thing or two that I'd like to say to Charlie, said Anger. Me too, said On. I'd stand up to him and I'd say, I'm no baby. And then, said Anger excitedly, we'll grab the ball and we'll throw it at him. Oh dear. Come on, said Anger. Let's find Sam and Charlie. Anger jumped up and started to run. I don't know, On said. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Can we slow down? Just responding to a message here. On and Anger began walking slowly together. With their first step, they took a breath in. With their next step, they let the breath out. One step, breathing in. One step, breathing out. I've never walked this slowly before, said Anger. It feels funny. Let's try counting our steps, On suggested. Maybe that will help. 1, 2, 3. On and Anger quietly counted the rise and fall of each step. 4, 5, 6. On could feel his breath moving up and down in his belly. 7, 8, 9. It's hard to concentrate, said Anger. I keep losing my count. 10, 11, 12. On felt a cool breeze behind him, gently pushing him towards the field. 13, 14, 15. The slow rhythm of On's breath comforted him, and he started to feel better. There he is. Anger, called On, are you still here? I'm right here, Anger answered softly. What are you doing? Asked On. I'm a little tired, said Anger. I think I should stay here and rest. Okay, said On. I can go on by myself for now. Wait, said Anger, handing On a dandelion. Make a wish. You could think about if there's anyone out there who might like to make a wish right now. On closed his eyes and drew in a big, deep breath. He blew it out and watched the dandelion seeds scatter. Now you make a wish, said On, turning to Anger, but Anger had already faded away. On rose to his feet and walked slowly towards the field. The sun was warm on his face, and he wanted to play. 16, 17. On couldn't help walking a little faster. 18, 19, 20, On said, the sound of his voice surprising him. 20 what? Someone asked. It was Sarah, a girl from his class. 20 steps from there to here, said On. He pointed back towards the big oak tree. Why were you counting your steps? She asked. On thought about his anger, the oak tree, and the slow walk. He thought about Charlie and Sam. It's a long story, he said. I like long stories, Sarah said, poking in the dirt. Hey, look what I found. Wow, said On. That's a really cool rock. Sarah held the small, shimmery stone up to the sun, and it sparkled in the light. I've never seen a rock like that before, said Sam, running up. I know, said On. You can find a lot of neat stuff when you dig. You haven't told us your story, Sarah said. Why were you counting your steps? Yeah, said Charlie, coming over. Why were you walking so slowly? Charlie, Sam, and Sarah gathered around. Come on, they said. Tell us. On looked at his friends and smiled. Recess is my favorite part of the day, On began. And it still was. So I love this story because it has a lot to teach us about ways that we can talk about big feelings when they're showing up. That you can at home put up your hand if you've ever had anger show up. Have you ever had anger kind of show up?
I never see him, but he might be hiding under my bed.
Oh, he might be hiding under your bed. Maybe frustration or sadness or worry. And so
happiness is invisible, but I can still see him right now.
Okay, so Adalyn's saying her happiness is invisible, but she can see him right now. So one of my favorite authors, Dan Siegel, talks about when we name our feelings, we can kind of tame them. We can actually calm a part of our brain. So we have a little friend to show you what that looks like.
And a big friend.
A little friend and a big friend. Do you want to hold the big friend or the little friend?
Big one.
Okay. It's interesting. I notice even reading a story about counting breaths sort of helped me to settle because it was a hectic morning. Okay, so you'll see what Adalyn is holding up there. And I have a little one hidden in here. So when we have a really big feeling show up, like frustration or anger, it can stir up the kind of middle part of our brain. And then if we imagine that this is the thinking part of our brain, yes, this inside part will go, roar. And then we can do what's called flipping our lid, where we're actually not even able to think clearly anymore. And the lion part of our brain comes out, this part that gets us to act without even thinking, to take care of ourselves.
My lion's singing.
Your lion is singing. And so what we want to do is find a way to give this lion, could you show them, honey, how to give your lion a hug? That's what we're doing, and that's what mindfulness practice can help us do by taking some deep breaths, or what An did in the story is with walking. So as I was reading the story, I realized we didn't take our 5 soft and deep breaths. We introduced it, and then I forgot. That happens sometimes. So Adalyn, would you like to, before we do the dancing practice?
Mama, stop.
One second.
Can you give this to me? Because he's so cute,
Yes.
and I really want him.
You can have the mouse in your room. So I wonder if anyone at
No, I
home...
want him to become my own stuff.
Okay. I wonder if anyone at home has one of these. It's a Hoberman sphere, and this can be a really fun way to practice breathing as well. Adalyn, would you like to do this with me?
Beautiful.
Okay, I'll do this, and you maybe can have the mouse help with breathing. So let's do our 5 soft, deep breaths,
He's my...
imagining our drinks on our shoulder. Okay, do you want to help me pull it? Here we go. So we can breathe in, whoops, as it expands, and exhale as it closes. How many was that? Was that 4? Let's do one more.
No, you're 6.
Okay, well maybe we did a little bit more, a little bit less. So if you remember what An did in the story when anger was showing up, that helped him to settle, is he went for a walk and counted his steps. We've done this before, honey. Remember the slow walking that we do with Grandma? Okay, well, I'm going to do that, and you're welcome to join me.
I'm here for 3.
So what we're going to do is just like what An did, is some slow walking. Because sometimes when, let's say, our lion brain has showed up, being still isn't necessarily the most helpful. Oh, where did the little baby lion go? Isn't necessarily the most helpful thing. Sometimes the best thing we can do is move. So if you would like to join in this, find a space
To dance.
where you are. First we'll do the walking, and then we'll do the dancing. And what we're going to do is do some nice walking,
Mom, this is slowly walking.
maybe noticing our
And this
feet.
is slow walking.
Here, come on in the screen, honey, and you can show them if you want. And then what we're going to do is you're going to count your steps as you walk to one place, and then turn around, counting your steps as you come back.
This is
And
how
then
we
I
start-
would love to hear from people.
Mom,
How
this is
many
how we start
steps?
walking.
Are we going to start here?
This is how you start walking.
You want to count your steps?
So like, and then.
Did you count? So we're going to do a few more back to our spot. So nothing more, nothing less, just walking and counting our steps. Adalyn, were you counting your steps?
In my mind.
In your mind, would you like to share how many you counted?
300.
300 steps. That was a lot of steps. I counted 17. Would anyone else like to share? I'll pull up the chat here. How many steps did they count when they did this walking practice? We'll take a moment and see.
Oh.
You're ready to sing today too, aren't you? How many steps, I wonder, did people? Oh, 23 steps. Okay.
No, I counted 103.
You counted 103. Okay. I counted 18. Anyone else want to share how many they
You
did?
said 17.
Did I say 17? Okay. Good memory, babe.
My mom, do you like her hair?
I do. So that can be a lovely practice to do sometimes. Not that we need to say, okay, we're going to go practice mindfulness to kind of calm down. It's like, hey, why don't we just go and do a nice slow walk, noticing our feet on the ground, and counting our steps. Okay, Adalyn, bye-bye. Thanks for letting me know. Someone has to sign off for now. So we're gonna do one last thing before we finish up. A really great way to help settle when there's big feelings, exactly, is what Adalyn's saying, is dancing. So Dan Siegel talks, he has a great book, and I'm gonna post it up on my Facebook page, that he talks about when we have kind of flipped our lid, when we're experiencing really big emotions, when that lion brain has really come out, that there are five
songs we were singing.
Okay, one sec. Give me 1 second, then you can tell. There are 5 things that we can do to help. And one of them is move it or lose it. So sometimes the best thing to do, rather than talking, is just go and have a dance party. And Adalyn has been so looking forward to this. Adalyn, do you want to let them know what we're going to do?
We're going to listen to a song that's the Lorax song.
So I'm going to play a song, and just a little thing about dancing. I mean, just moving and dancing and having fun is super important. And if you can add what's called bilateral movements, so things from left to right, that's a really lovely brain integration activity. Adalyn, are you ready to do some dancing? I think you're ready.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to come over to the bigger space here? And at home, feel free to join along. If you can't hear the music, please let me know in the chat. From the Lorax. So you'll see that I'm doing left and right movements. Adalyn's trying to do the floss. Here, come on. The floss, that's a good brain integration activity, actually. See if I remember. Our son knows how to do it. Okay, there we go. So just even jumping left to right. You can
I do this?
skiing.
This is ballet, but it's fast ballet.
Fast ballet. You want to do some fast ballet? Swimming. Okay, Adalyn, a few more moves, and then we're going to stop with the dancing. Okay.
I'll take care of mine.
Feels good, doesn't it, Adalyn? Lots of left and right movements.
Just look at me petting this puppy.
So I jump this way, I jump this way.
Okay. Thanks for that dancing. Oh, that's a great one, Adalyn. Okay. So you could even build that in as part of your day. Oh, geez, how are we going to continue
I'm so hot.
when we're out of breath and so hot?
Can I have a nice drink of lemonade?
We can make some lemonade afterwards. So remembering that idea, name it to tame it when there's a big feeling showing up. Move it or lose it. Just getting up and moving. Don't even talk about what's going on if you can. For a moment, do what you need to so people are safe, and then get up and move. Another, connect before you redirect. So rather than saying, stop doing that, kind of go up to the person and say, hey, Adalyn, and then you connect, and then you kind of redirect behavior. So those, and then engage, don't enrage. So engaging meaning kind of recognizing and validating emotions, and then trying to help engage what Dan Siegel calls the upstairs brain, the thinking part of the brain, so that we can kind of problem solve and talk.
I want to listen to a song.
So now I'm catching my breath here. So we will finish off with
Just the way we started.
Just the way we started? Yeah, do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do, Adalyn, you asked for 2 breaths. So why don't we do that for today? We're going to finish off with a listening practice. And she wants to do Om. Sure. Om can just be the sound of the world, the sounds of the world coming together. You know what, Adalyn? You've given me an idea. How about next week, we could share the story Silence? Do you like that? Oh dear. I wonder what feeling Adalyn was expressing when I said that. Well, we can see, but we are going to do one whole session on listening practice, because that can be really fun as well. We could play Guess the Emotion. That can be a fun charades to do too. Another little tip. Oh, I wish I had it, Adalyn. On our fridge, we have a picture of feeling faces. So all different faces showing different feelings, like happy. Do you remember what the happy one looks like? How about the sad one? How about angry? How about frustrated? Oh, what's that one? My guess is bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that bored? How about surprised? Yeah, what else? How about silly? Is that one on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and sleepy. Right. So Adalyn has taken the lead on this, that she will come and bring us to the faces on the fridge and point to what she's feeling and ask us as well. Another great way to just share about feelings. If we remember, shall we show that to our friends? There isn't silly. I think we should add that one. What do you think?
But we can't.
Oh, okay. Well, we can just do silly on our own. So would you like to sound the singing bowl?
I already did.
Here, do you want to hold your heart? We're going to hold. You want to hold 2. So for finishing off, I think this is just a really lovely practice to continue to do. That while we're physically distancing, we can still be socially connecting with ourselves and with others. So when we sound the singing bowl and take our few soft and deep breaths, remembering what we did last week, where we breathed in something good for ourselves, whether that be kindness or compassion.
My birthday.
Sure. These are her hearts. And when we breathe out, we'll send something good to another person. Okay. Adalyn, would you like to sound the... Oh, you know what? Here, we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to show you. This is a free chime that if you don't have one at home, this is, I think this is called Meditation Timer. And it's an app that you can download for free. And it has a lovely chime. I know, it got really hot in here, didn't it? Would you like to press the button for the chime?
Yeah.
Okay, so you press the triangle there. I'll put it up to the, I don't know where the speaker is here. That's what it looks like. So taking our 2 soft and deep breaths, breathing in something good for ourselves. I'm going to breathe in joy for myself today. Breathing out.
I'm going to breathe in happy today.
Okay. I'm going to breathe out safety and care for people who are working in hospitals. And that includes our aunt, your aunt, and your uncle who are working in hospitals. So I want to breathe out safety and care for them. Breathing in joy for me. Who would you like to breathe out for, honey?
I don't know.
Not sure? That's okay.
Grandma.
for Grandma? Do you want to send her, what would you like to send Grandma and Grandpa?
I just want to video call them after this, and then after I video call Grandma and Grandpa, I want to video call Sophia. I was about to say Princess Sophia.
So breathing in happiness. And how about we say breathing out love for Grandma and Grandpa? Thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you next week, and we will have some more mindfulness adventures.
And fun.
And fun.